Absolutely horrible. Yeah, I guess we're in.
We are in.
We're
We
most
are
definitely.
in.
No, we're always in. We're either in some trouble or in some And welcome to the latest episode of This Week in Barbecue. I'm your host, Rashid Phillips. This Week in Barbecue is a barbecue-focused podcast that brings you hot takes and even hotter recipes. And don't worry, here we only trade recipes, not star basketball athletes in their peak prime at 25, but not taking any jobs because it's not my neck or job on the line.
For real.
Sitting across from me is definitely Mr. Babyface himself,
This guy again.
Mr.
James Welch.
Ooh, y'all see him got that extra smooth. I like the soap patch. And trying his best to moderate us, Mr.
Lee Garmin.
It doesn't really work out well.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a flow.
There's a flow, ebbs and flows.
yeah, absolutely.
We usually just cut it off around an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
And another thing.
And wait, there's more.
Oh, my goodness. Was it good to be back?
It feels great to be back. I feel like I'm
Happy
bouncing
Black
around.
History Month.
Every month, Black History Month.
This is it.
That's all you hear everywhere. Like,
Well.
hey, just relax, live your life, calm down. Timothy. No, man, yeah, Black History Month, and you got some good stuff here. Kick us off with one or two.
One or two. Well, I mean, here we go again, right? Black History Month. And we're going to take a little time to dive into some of the African-American roots of barbecue.
Yes, sir.
But before we get deep into that, because, you know, I'm going to check with current events, talk to my man, Rashid, about your trip down to King's Meat and Barbecue Supply.
Man, talk about, what's the kids say these days, a vibe.
Yeah.
It was amazing, man. It truly was.
I saw the pictures. I saw the plate. I was so upset. Well, upset in the words of being jealous, just because it looked fantastic. How was the food? How's the grand opening? I know those guys are out there doing big things.
Man, one time for the one time, Eduardo, Willie, Jeremiah, the whole community, the crew, the spouses, the families. I've never seen like so. And we you know with the fellas we talked real. I was like, hey, you didn't half-ass this shit. Like you didn't do what they thought would happen. You know when you go to like a local butcher shop, it's hodgepodge, mom and pop, stuff just isn't right. Stuff's a little off.
Yeah.
They ain't really put everything they had into it. These guys put everything they had twice, literally.
Yeah.
And built this place. It is to the nines. It's modern looking. It's clean. They spared no expense.
Yeah.
It's so well lit, such detail, right? And it's just polished. They're like, oh, it's new. Like, no, it's been up and going for a couple of months.
Right.
But they stay on making sure everything stays tack sharp. So
That was fantastic.
it's wonderful. And I've never seen it. I don't know of one.
We are in. We've been in.
Butcher shop where they butcher in-house and a true barbecue supply. I'm not saying, oh, you go in there and they've got a quarter bag of pellets and a Lodge cast iron.
Yeah.
No, you can buy, it's truly one stop. You can go inside, get your meat, your binder, your rub, your fuel, your apron, your knives, and the grill.
Nice.
All
Complete
of it
package.
in one stop.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
fantastic. I wonder how, I've never seen a place like that. I've
Neither
always seen
have
a
I.
butcher or a barbecue supply company, but not one of both. And you're absolutely right. You go into the butcher, you might see a bag of
Lee
wood
Garmin.
chunks, maybe a rack or so of spices or rubs. but
There's a flow.
not from start to finish.
Well, we
You go
usually
there and just basically get a package.
it off around
like
an hour.
there's 1,500.
Hey, we're
Yeah,
done.
and
walk out
I
there
told them,
with
it's like, you guys need to price, hey, my Fisher price, I'm just getting started. That has the smoker, fuel, everything. And it's wood chunks, briquettes, whatever you want to get down with. It's there. And they've got the whole fam up there in Rob's, from Al Fragoni to Mel, Dark Side of the Grill. Blazing Star, Mike Star is out there. Grilling with Dad is out there. You know, yours truly tripped and fell and landed on the shelves. Well, there's such a vast array. Big Sexy Rob, he's got his rubs out there. Then everyone came together to see this vision, and it's one of those things where most people can't see the vision, but we all did, which is why everyone chipped in.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Sure.
let's make this work, because we need it to work just as much as they do.
Absolutely.
Because there's no way I don't see this thing becoming a problem. Like, it's going to grow. It's really going to grow. It's great. Jeremiah opened his home and had us all over there for the pitmaster kickback, which was a great time. I drank and ate a scorpion.
Ooh.
Scorpion tequila shots. Scorpion tequila shots. There was 5 of those bad boys in the bottle.
Were they just in the bottle, or did they get them into the glass? I've seen that every now and then, but you're not supposed to.
No, they were in the bottle, and then they were like, "Mama ain't raised no bitch. 5 of y'all stand up. Let's ride." So I was like, "All right, let's go." So we took the shots with the scorpion. Had a little scorpion chaser.
Wow.
And
you feeling all right?
I feel great.
Oh, okay.
Just lost feeling my left leg, but besides that, that's exactly
right.
Like, I got all 8 of the toes.
Hey, you're in it for the experience, right?
Exactly. It was memorable. Then the actual grand opening day, it's like the floodgates open.
I saw the community come out. I mean, when you have that big of a crowd, that's saying
Huge.
something.
Hey, one time for Leo's Corner, man. Leo's Corner is located directly beside their shop, which is a bar and after club party, and they open up their space to welcome everyone in. Great drinks, great people, great atmosphere. Okay. There was a live band, DJs, fire demos, raffles. They gave away everything but a lowrider. It was just a wonderful time, and I'll be back out there.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a jerk chicken 101 and a oxtail 101 class. We're going to let you guys decide which one you want first, but we're going to do one of those in March. Okay. And then the second quarter. So it was a wonderful time. Top of the line memories.
Fantastic.
Top of the line memories.
Well, I want to see what you brought me back, but I guess there was nothing. But we'll let it slide this time.
No, I legit wanted to get you a hoodie, but they stopped at my size. They were like, they were just out, so I did put that on, so they're gonna send it over.
So we got to get the barbecue shapewear in first, so then I can fit into the 3X.
Barbecue shapewear.
No, that's great to hear. I'm glad you got a chance to go out there. Next time I might sneak into your suitcase, so then you don't have to worry about bringing me anything. I'll just be, hey, man, oversized bag.
When we do the oxtail or the jerk class, man, come on through. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah.
There's a viral video going around in the barbecue community and forums of me getting into the world's smallest vehicle because they're like, you can't fit back there. I was like, first off, Mom ain't raising no bitch. Let's ride. Yeah. I show them. I do my hip mobility stretches in the morning. Well, I squatted down low like a tree stump, slid right in that back seat. Like I told you, let's go.
I ain't even gonna ask what kind of car it is. Just, if it's not a truck, it's too small.
Exactly.
It's not a truck, it's too small. Well, that's great. I'm glad you had a chance to get out there. I'm glad they're doing big things, and it's fantastic. So next, Good Morning Atlanta.
Yeah,
what you doing on TV, brother?
Hey, man, every once in a while, America's Most Wanted. I got warrants. No, back on the morning show circuit. That's always fun. This was no different. It was great.
Were they just in the bottle, or did they get them into the glass? I've seen that every now and then, but you're not supposed to.
So we did
do anything with it.
Pulled pork nachos.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Crowd favorite. Is still affordable, even with everything's priced how it is right now. Still affordable, and it yields a lot and makes great leftovers for the next morning hangover, if that happens to be how you go. You're either going to drink because your team lost, or you're going to drink because your team won. Either way.
Who needs toes?
Not until April.
Yeah, unless you're you. I'm just putting that bottle back in the closet in the kitchen somewhere.
Leave it out. It's a beacon of light that guides me.
It's a reminder of despair for me. All it does. But no, it was great. And if you guys missed it, it's up on somewhere. Yeah,
find it.
It's up there, and it's a simple recipe, but it was fun. And you always know you do a good job when they're like trying to book you multiple times out before you leave. Like, hey, so what about May? Oh, and can you come back in July too? It's like, yeah, send us the dates. We'll make it happen.
See, that sounds fantastic, because last time I was on TV, they just ushered me out.
That's why I tell you got to wear pants. It's not optional.
Nah, they didn't. That wasn't in the contract. It wasn't in the contract.
Does it have to be? It's just certain things.
Well, I love it, man. You're out there traveling, doing big things on TV, and kicking off Black History Month again. Flavors of Black Excellence. I love it.
Yes, the Flavors of Black Excellence is officially back. Like we, briefly touched on, I just felt heavy, I wasn't sure if I was going to run it back, but I feel like when they're literally deleting your history from the records, you kind of want to be a guy to just keep uploading it right back up there. Just like, when they snag something off of Napster, I'm like, nah, I'm uploading it back. The people need it. I'm the Napster of Black history. Let's go.
Oh, fantastic.
IP, I got you.
Here it is.
Well, I will ride shotgun along with you any day because, while we only do get a month, Black history is forever. But we do get a month, so we're going to celebrate.
That's right.
And have a good time.
That's right.
And we have don't know how many listeners out there, but I don't know if people really know the story or where it came from. They just figure, we gave us the shortest month of the year and said, go ahead and have it. But it was actually Dr. Woodson, the father of Black history, started off in 1926, where he launched Negro History Week. And you have to wonder, why in February? I couldn't tell you, but I did look it up. That's where Google comes in handy. Frederick Douglass was born on February 14th, and then with Lincoln being credited with the Emancipation, his birthday is on February 12th. So figured that February was a good time to recognize some of the African-American contributions to this country. It was started off as a week, got some traction in the 40s and 50s, then the civil rights in the 60s. 1976, President Ford hit us with a favor, made it a whole month.
He's like, you know what? I'm going to put 5 on that. Go ahead and let it ride.
Yeah, just go ahead and take February. Take February. But you can have a whole month. And what was cool about it in my looking around is that I didn't know that Canada does it in February as well. And the UK has a Black History Month in October. So, we're global people.
I didn't know about the UK, but I did know Canada because, Canada usually doesn't celebrate anything in alignment with the rest of us. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, right on. That works. That works out really well.
Yeah, so it's just interesting to be as far as how Black history relates to barbecue. And, quite frankly, it really does start. There's a lot of roots back to Africa, right?
Yeah.
Where we talk about, after we took that incredibly long first boat ride.
Involuntarily.
The Africans came over, they brought some open fire cooking and smoking techniques to, Americas, right? Where they took it from Africa, they were, open fire roasting large game like warthogs and antelopes and buffalo. Sometimes they even throw a giraffe and a zebra on there, even though they were,
That's a long
socially
smoke.
taboo. But, you get everything in there. Big game, open fire. I don't know if they were eating the dogs, but they did have some large game out there. And what they did is they adapted those local skills, brought it to America. And really, barbecue probably wouldn't exist as we knew it and as we know it. So make sure we give your old African folks a little bit of credit for bringing over that open fire cooking to us and letting us get a little taste of what that barbecue, that flame tastes like,
Yeah, and it's just such an amazing
Give me a new
form of
IP, I
cooking,
got
like
you.
true raw open fire. And it's just depend on what region, what part of the world you're located on. It could be barbecue, could be barbacoa, could be asado, could be a braai. The name changes, but the base fundamentals of it doesn't. Raw, protein, vegetable, whatever, meats, heat,
fire.
That's it. Like we're. I was talking with someone when I was over in Atlanta. I was like, we're just modern day alchemists.
Really, I believe
that's it. Because and I think that's just what cooking, chefing, pitmastering, rubbing two sticks together like I do is. That's what it all is. It's just a modern day take on a level of alchemy in some way, shape, or form. Because you can imagine 3 to 4 ingredients and make so many different dishes just because of those combinations and variables. And then you add heat to it, and it's like, okay, that's different. Like biting into a raw onion, horrible. You hit that bad boy with a little butter, a little salt, and some heat, and let it caramelize on itself. You're like, oh, this. I can literally spread this on toast and eat it.
It's crazy, right? I'm gonna do you one even better. You take that raw onion, you batter it, and you deep fry it. I don't think it's ever been done before, but I think we might be onto something. Like we did those chips.
We could be. I haven't gotten a call from Lay's or Fritos yet, so I don't think they liked our barbecue or brisket chip or Chris Lilly Alabama white sauce Doritos or Fritos. But I still think that works, and I'm willing. If somebody's out there listening, I'm willing to invest and put something up. Let's see who can R&D this and make this thing happen.
It's only been a week. The greatness takes time, so I'm still holding out hope.
That's fair. I'm not gonna lie, but on the back end of talking about just what chefs do as far as alchemy, there's an amazing chef, Massimo Capra.
Ooh, I like that name.
I know, right? It's dope. He's like he's kind of got to stand
strong,
stand with your shoulders back,
with your whole chest.
He says, there needs to stop being this romanticization of being a chef, of being in the culinary world. It's like, being a chef or what you do doesn't mean you have a full sleeve tattoo with with either like your chef's knife tat first or your tweezers or whatever. No frilly thing like that. It comes with sacrifice, right?
It does.
It comes with a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, and there is a huge difference between those who are chefs and those who think they're chefs.
Absolutely.
Right? Like you have to be able to inspire and lead a kitchen. I don't think people realize that being a chef isn't just cooking. Like there's so much more that goes into it. And then the same thing, because I'm not a chef, I'm caveman.
I would beg to differ.
Neanderthal even. But I personally think, being a pitmaster, there's just certain skills you need to have. Like when I was talking with Eduardo and them, they all picked up and learned how to butcher.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because, they're running a meat supply shop. And I wholeheartedly believe you should know how to break down large cuts. You should know how to break down halves to quarters to minis and singles. Like you should, just so you understand how the meat works and how the muscles intertwine, and that gives you a better understanding of how to cook it.
Yeah.
It really does, yeah. This is a huge cut. Yeah, well, if you can break it down into multiple pieces and know where to go, you've got different cuts and you can impart a much different eating experience to whomever it is.
Yeah. That's when you are that expert level, when you're cutting down and breaking down pieces of meat to different, I'm not talking about leftovers where you just cook a big piece of meat and you're making tacos and nachos.
You got to go from a primal cut to a sub-primal and just really get in there and do that work, get that knife skill. Like I did something basic. This doesn't count as butchering, but I did a live to showcase that you don't need a bandsaw to make oxtail at home, because the amount of times I put it out there, the top response is, "Oh, I don't have something that can cut it, and I'm afraid of the saw, and I might cut myself." And I'm like, "What the heck are you talking about?"
Right.
It's just I could do this with a really sharp butter knife. What are you doing?
Right.
It's just understanding. I think people are eating, consuming, and cooking without understanding the basic level of what it is they're ingesting.
Yeah, I would believe that. I don't think people pay much attention to the preparation as long as it is on the plate and it's edible. Like, no one's paying attention. No one's understanding the technique that goes into it. The how you turn a tough cut into a masterpiece where it just you take your fork and you're able to cut it. And part of that pitmaster and those skills are just what was brought over to us. Well, brought over to us, but brought over to this country where, you know, when you're talking earlier about breaking it down into regions where it could be barbacoa or any other kind of barbecues across the country, we even have those regionals here in the States where you're talking about the Carolinas where you got your vinegar base, right? You got Kansas City where you got sweet tomato, you know, Memphis where it's a little bit of both, you know, put it all together. And then, you know, you go down to Texas, beef country, baby. You know, everybody's talking about beef.
Beef and salt. I'm shocked they have a star on the flag, not a cow. To be perfectly honest with you, because I don't understand it, but fair, makes sense.
And then, you know, when we talk about barbecue and all the skills that it takes and how people kind of gravitate towards it, it is a uniter in some respects, especially in the African American community where we use it for celebrations. I mean, every fond memory that I have as a child, there was always somebody on the grill. Now, I'm not saying that they were doing it right.
No, but everyone had that one uncle with them Jesus cruisers.
Oh, my goodness.
Smashing the hell out of those burgers, turning them into hockey pucks.
Just lighting it up. There's like 3 bottles of lighter fluid that seriously just wasn't needed. But it is a gather. It's a you know, you smell that grill and people just kind of come out the woodworks. And it was served as a symbol of really community, freedom, unity, and resilience.
No, I agree. Because no one wants to barbecue alone.
No.
That's like going to a bar to drink alone. Like, no one's trying to barbecue. Like, I'm not doing this for just me.
That's such a sad sight.
That is
to
like
see somebody like
if I see you grilling alone, like, bro, I'm gonna stop by. Like, what's going on? You good?
I gotta come over and
You need to talk. You need to talk about it or something. Like, what's
You need a friend.
who hurt you?
like, hey, you want to be buddies? Like, I'll be your barbecue buddy. Because that's just a sad sight. You know, friends don't let other friends barbecue alone.
You know, and we want to put that out to the community. If you see somebody barbecuing alone, stop and say hi.
Yeah, just say what's up. You know, go to your garage, get them another beer. And this is how guys are, because they're like, oh, guys don't talk to each other. We do, but in our own language.
It is.
I see you barbecuing alone. I'm in your neighborhood. I'm going to the garage because, you know, we got a garage fridge.
Absolutely.
I'm going to snag a case of beer, walk by your spot, drop the case. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to pop 2, hand you one, and just stand there with you.
Yeah. And then,
And so much was said.
Yeah.
So much was said.
we are now friends.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like, if I need a bar or lawnmower, I'm coming to you.
Yeah. Because you know my grass needs to be cut.
Oh, exactly. And that's how it goes. That's how you keep stuff like that going. But I hope I don't live in a world where there's a mass amount of people barbecuing alone. No, come together. And if you need somebody to barbecue with, hit us up. You know, we'll jump on the Instagram with you. Get a little live, little Q&A.
I am but a short phone call away.
But also, too, I feel like it's almost impossible to barbecue for one.
It is.
Like, you know, like you're making.
Because even if you get a whole chicken,
What are you doing with that chicken?
as rough as things are, I have yet to see them sell one drumstick in a package.
Let me get one.
How much for one rib? How about you forget the cup? Just put it in my hand. Extra points for anyone who can get that reference.
Absolutely.
There's going to be a subgroup who can. What do we have here? Oh, speaking of, sis of the show and fam overall, Miss Erica Blue Smoke Blair was giving out advice, and one of the things that she was taught relayed to her from Bobby Flay was to cook what you know. A lot of cooks and a lot of pitmasters and so forth are going out there. This was advice he gave her during her season.
Okay.
They're going out there just going crazy. And I'm not saying not to try new things, but you should probably really perfect, get a hold of what you already know in your catalog.
Makes sense.
Right? Like if you only make ground beef and pasta, okay, can you make it into a bolognese? Do you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Like, can we get that up, knock that in your wheel belt? Some of these, I think, especially with the push of social, everyone's just jumping on the latest trends. Remember, everyone was wrapping everything in bacon and then deep frying this or pinwheeling this and then frog style their turkeys, frog style their chickens. Like, whoa, you might as well just frog style the frog.
I mean, you can continue to wrap things in bacon. That's fine.
Of course, that's what you heard.
Yeah.
Out of everything.
Well, I heard the frog thing too, but I mean, that's what kind of stuck out. Was just, little advice: just keep wrapping things in bacon, but stop everything else.
But it's like don't be so quick to like leave it's. You know what it is?
What's that?
It's cooking ADHD. It's cooking ADD.
Okay.
Coin that. It's culinary ADD. It's like, I started working on new trend? Oh, let me go try that. New trend? It's like squirrel. Completely caught off guard. Like you've got culinary ADD. Just
yeah. Stick to what you know. At least
a little bit.
You can stick to what you know and then pivot just a little bit. Like you said, you got beef and sauce, bolognese, lasagna, things like that in nature, right?
I'll never forget. It was the day before they started shooting season 2 of that show on that thing. And I went in a talk to the cast and crew. And I said, hey, all this is going to come at you fast. Mm-hmm. Said, take a second, ground yourself, and just think. Like before you go out there, all of you should have it. And if you don't,
but also too, I feel like
it's
almost impossible
right
to barbecue.
You need to have one solid,
like
you're
recipe. Making food for multiple.
One solid poultry recipe, one solid beef recipe, one solid pork recipe. Like keep that. Like start with that as your base, and then if you need to expand on it, go from there.
Yeah.
Now's not the time to try to shoot, from the half court. You've never done that. You've always been a layup guy with the right hand. Don't give me left hand today. I don't care if there's no one around you. Don't hit that fast break and give me left hand.
Exactly.
Stay my layup guy with the right today. We're not doing that yet.
Stay consistent.
Have those particular ones and those subcasts, and that works for anybody who's going on anything. Casting calls are open back up for all the culinary shows these days. Just go into that with that little mindset. If there's anything old sheet here can pass on, have one solid poultry, solid beef, solid pork, solid seafood that with the barest of barest you can make that happen, and that's your go-to.
Yeah.
Then make it happen. Then add a little bit after you've nailed that and you've made it on. But what do I know? I just rub bust and start fires for a minute.
So you're saying round 1 we shouldn't just go full hog?
Yeah, don't do what I did. Yeah, don't do what I did. That was stupid. Don't do what I did. Just do as I say, not as I do.
Well, you can't say that and then look at the amount of success and things that you've accumulated.
I try to showcase the failures as much as the successes. People want to know, like, hey, you ever lost $30,000 in a month? Exactly.
$30,000 or what?
Exactly, right?
$30,000 of what?
Just gone. Like, all right, well, what are you gonna do?
Ooh, yeah, that's
but it's what's necessary. You've got to be willing to take risks and push, but only after getting the fundamentals down.
Yeah, and I hear that. And when people get into this, I think that. I was talking to the kind of a candidate here, so bear with me. But
I have been the last couple of years.
I've been talking to a few people just about like ongoings, about employment and things like that, and it just seems like no one takes pride anymore. And I think I might have said this before, where it's just a grab, like money grab. Like no one takes the time. Like I remember back in the day, like people had pride in what they do or what they bring out to the world, and now it just seems like everybody's just out for the cash. Where you look at things like barbecue and the history of it, it's just not a career. It's a form of storytelling. It's cultural preservation. It is gathering people. It is about the community, and it's really on a global scale. Like people are barbecuing all over the place. But I just wish that people would, and everything they do is take a little pride in what you do, right?
No, I agree. That, Lee, that reminds me of when, we were in Memphis 2 years ago or so, I think, and we were listening to Mr. Neely, the matriarch of the Neely line, talk about, and we have that whole talk on camera. We've got to just cut that and put that out there.
Yeah.
But a room full of grown men, scientists, James Beard Award winners, multi-accolade, we're just all adults.
Okay.
reverted back to 8-year-olds because the man was holding court. Like
Yeah.
we hit record and just sat like, and it took us like, we don't want to miss this, but he was just holding court on that topic. What was his words? If you can't put pride into it, close the doors and take your name off the building and close up shop.
Yeah.
Like stop putting out crap. Stop putting shit out there. Put out quality work that you can put your name on. If you can't do that, get out of the game because
Right.
you're making it harder for everyone else who's doing good.
And people just don't see that nowadays. It's just about how much money and how fast can I get it in my pocket.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the push. And I got a quick. Actually, let's do this. Let's try this. Let's do. I want to try something here. Try
let's
something
go.
here. Future Sheed, when you're doing the cut, remember this part. So I want to try something. I want to call this. We're going to do hot takes, brought to you by Melinda's Hot Sauce.
Oh, Melinda.
Now these are the homies. One
Okay.
time for Melinda's. Shout out to them for being voted one of the top fastest growing brands of 2024. This stuff is addictive. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. This is liquid Coke with some seasoning.
You know it?
That's all it is. You might notice that there's one missing. Now the one that's missing is that garlic habanero. All right,
Ooh, that sounds
and that
delicious.
thing's got some heat on it, and it's got some flavor. And yeah, I took it out the pack, and I might still give this one away. Don't judge me for it. Just know you're gonna come up one short. I told you what it was. I want to hear it. All right, you're
Listen
getting
and
9
don't
fresh
judge.
ones. Let me hold my one.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
Don't hit me in the DM. Watch the episode. You got told. So this segment here is called Hot Takes, presented by Melinda. Hot take to reset the room. I'm about to backhand this tipping culture.
Oh,
I'm about to backhand this tipping culture because this tipping culture got but one more again to try to get me from my paper. I can't do it. We wrapped doing the morning segment.
okay.
I was like, okay, but I'm gonna treat myself some lunch, and by lunch I'm gonna have a big steak omelet and a stack of flapjacks because your boy was up at like 5, hit the workout. So I was like, yeah, I deserve this.
You do.
Went, had my stack. I was like, all right, cool. The bill's under $20.
Okay.
Under $20. Why on the printout receipts, and this is just getting out of hand now, why at the printout receipts, the tip starts, what do you think it started at?
18%.
22
22
at IHOP.
IHOP. First of all, you know what?
22, 25, 28
No,
were the 3 options there.
absolutely not.
I said you must be out your mind.
Absolutely not.
What are we doing here?
Everyone.
First of all, I just stumbled into IHOP. I didn't even want to be here. Like, but since I'm here, I'm gonna have something to eat.
Ain't no white linens, right? What do we do? The booths drop lower than lower. I'm just, I got knees to chest sitting here. But I think, and then somebody out there is going to listen. Well, if you can't afford to tip, you shouldn't go. Shut up! You sound stupid. Go look up the history of where tipping came from.
Yeah,
That is actually a Black history fact.
it really
too,
is a
but
Black history fact. I was about to educate some
I was
folks,
about
but
to lay my hands, but Grandma told me I got to calm down because she got her church friends that listen to her.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I'm just saying, but you're stupid.
well, anytime you want to pass the baton, I'm gonna go 10 toes down and I'm gonna educate some folks. 'Cause I tell you right now,
But I get it, right? And then it's like, oh, well, economy's hard. We need to make a living wage. Cool. How's that my problem? How is that my problem? You go through, there needs to be rules on tipping. Einstein Bagels, I'm not tipping you a god-dong thing. What am I tipping you for? Because you flip the screen. And I love it's going to ask you a question. What's the question?
yeah, it's gonna ask you a question.
Well,
I got a question
I
for
hit
you.
him with it. I was like, "What's the question?"
Yeah.
No, you'll say, no. But what's the question? Just tell me. You can't
Right.
tell me. You don't want to tell me. You don't even want to ask for the thing you want me to give you.
Right.
Right. I think that's just the wildest part. You won't even ask me to give you the tip. You just
There's no pride.
Just flip it.
There's no pride in
flip
it.
it over there. That goes back to that, and it's I don't understand how or why you're doing your job,
Right.
right? And you serve
been informed.
a meal.
You've been informed.
Okay. You weren't a brain surgeon who just completed something amazing. Like, I feel like if anyone should get tipped, it's probably that guy. Like, yo, let me slide you a couple hundo right quick. Like, hey, successful operation, my man. Let's let it run. Exactly. Like, thank you. You are someone I want to tip.
Actually, I'm tipping the anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
He kept me asleep during the surgery.
Thanks for taking me out, and thanks for bringing me back. My man, you got a cool hundo too. Yep. One time.
Got to tip the plug.
That's it. Literally. Like, when did tipping, it's like the more and more the economy, I don't even know. It's at this point the economy is river dancing. It's just there. You're looking at like, how do they do it? I don't know.
First of all, you have the audacity to start at 22.
When I tell you, I said, I don't even know who you are anymore. Like, you done got a whole new number. The menus is still the same laminated one sheet, like
sticky.
Like, but it's what you said. It's the pride. Like, you want the money, but you ain't putting the pride into it.
You don't even want to ask for it.
And I can't help but think, like, when I go to, like, shout out to Gigi and his restaurant. When I go to Con. And it's amazing. You want to tip everybody in there because there's so much intent, so much pride. But then you go to these, what is it, the fast casuals or the dining or whatever, and these people are. It's like, do you want to make money, or like are we just so you just gonna literally put the food down and walked off? Ain't even say here you go. How is it? No, because you just expect to get the money.
Exactly.
But let me just pay what's on that bill. Then I bet you got something to say.
Oh yeah, now you're the bad guy.
I'm the asshole because
absolutely.
Oh, you only tipped me
no tip
10%. Well, you didn't even do 10% of the work.
I was like, you did 8% of the effort. So,
but
technically,
tipping used to be what 8 to 10%. Then it went up to 15. Then 18. When the 20s, 22, 25s, 28s. I'm like, why? Who is this on? Who does the burden fall on?
Mm-hmm. And where does it stop?
Remember back in the day, like 20% was like
20% was like
woo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now 20% is the norm.
It's the
and
bottom.
it's that sense of entitlement. Like, no, you're gonna give me my 20.
Yeah.
I don't give you nothing.
20% back in the day, they used to take your plate, box it up for you, bag it. Yeah. Walk it out to your car.
Yeah, for 20% tip, I don't want to touch nothing.
Right.
For 20%, you should be clocking me and saying, "Oh, I'm loan a drink, run it back." 20%. For 20%, I shouldn't have to ask for silverware.
Ooh.
I don't. 20%, I ain't asking no silverware. What are we doing?
Water refills, nothing. They should be on point.
Just go, and I can say it because I used to be a waiter. I've served people, so I understand. Hey, if I do my job. It gets going. We're good. But
then again, you're doing your job. You're doing your job.
Doing my job.
You kept me alive.
That was our first hot take brought to you by Melinda's Hot Sauce. Again, don't come to me at me because that one bottle's missing. Y'all know where it went. All right, it's on my desk. I got to keep a stash here at the spot because I'd be eating at my desk. So you already know.
And there's 9 bottles left. They'll be fine.
They'll survive. It's all types of flavors. Stop being greedy.
Oh my goodness.
Hit us with a couple more Black History facts here.
Black History facts. Well, I'll tell you, we going back to the civil rights movement.
Oh,
that's right, civil rights, because barbecue joints, they were safe spaces for civil rights.
Yeah.
Again, like I mentioned earlier, barbecue is a way to gather the masses, right? You smell the fire brewing and the meat cooking, you're gonna come. But again,
haven't been wiped down in 3 days.
Helping communities heal from the traumas of slavery and segregation. And I wanted to point out one point. Brenda's Barbecue Pit was opened in 1942 down in Montgomery, Alabama. Still open. Okay. Just a little shack. Was open for the civil rights movement, both food and activism, where leaders like MLK and Rosa Parks would go down there and plan marches and protests and things like that. So I just want people to understand the culture is there, the history is there, and go out and Google your Black-owned barbecue joint. You're not going to get on the watch list if you Google Black-owned barbecue joint. But go and check out these places. I mean, there are people that are still around, modern day pitmasters, like my esteemed colleague sitting across the table from me. Even though he doesn't, what are you looking for?
Oh, I was like, what are you looking at? We got an extra table?
Good luck on figuring out when you can get us cooking.
Oh yeah!
Wow!
I think I
Wow!
have, you know,
Lee?
I know how.
Lee? Well, can you preface it first?
daggers being thrown.
Did it get darker in here? The level of shade. Can you adjust the ISO?
20% voice. You did great. Oh man! Like,
One of the questions is like, how can I get Rashid's food? And I'm like,
I would expect that from Corey. I'd expect that from Pops, but you, Lee? The fact that and you walked back to the mic for it. Wow.
You did come back for that.
They say it really be your own people. It really be your own people. I'm shocked and appalled.
But speaking of people like Pops and Rodney Scott, man, you know, they continue the tradition, bringing whole hog barbecue and other authentic styles to the global audience.
Yep. Shout out the pitmaster himself as well, Mr. Ed Mitchell and his son Ryan Mitchell carrying on the torch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Where, again, we encourage you, go out there, Black owned. You're not going to get canceled.
Nah.
You're going to go in there. You're going to feel welcome, at home. You're going to get full. And people like to talk.
Yeah.
So ask a question. They'll share secrets. They might even let you come back and get a peek at the pit, you know. But it's a community. Go out there. Go and check out these places. Google them. Listen to the podcasts. They're welcoming. And you're going to get some good food. Great food.
Yeah. And I think that's part of it. People just don't talk to one another anymore at places like, you know, you could hang out online, like, hey, what's good? Here's my first time. Oh, well, you know, I'll take you this and this and let me introduce you to so-and-so. And that's what I felt when I went back, when I was out there in California with the crew. Like, everyone's talking to everybody. When everyone's excited to meet certain people and see those people in real life and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no one's putting on there. It's like, yeah, come on, come chat. What's going on? Hey, I remember this one gentleman, I can't remember, Jay's Barbecue or Juicy Jay's, something like that. I've got a sticker on the desk. And he was like, it's just so it was hard to come over here and talk to you. He was like, brother, I look like a grizzly, but I'm more like a Care Bear. Like, I'm fine, bro. Let's talk.
But I do think that's common now. Is lots of people just don't interact with people anymore.
Yeah, it's like
even just the act of like saying hello.
Yes.
It like
seems like a major task.
It is tough for a lot of people.
And he was like, I said, have you met Shatika? She's here. Have you met Al there? He's like, nah, I just can't go over there. I was like, man, come on by. So you try to help break the ice and get through that. But more now than ever, man, we need a lot of togetherness. And like, oh, no, I'll help you. I'll come, I'll introduce your buddies of mine type of thing. Just communicate, right? Just baseline communicate.
And it makes you wonder, when did we lose that? You know, it's just
COVID.
that ability to talk to people.
COVID.
Really?
I think it was always like squirrely prior,
it was moving that way.
but COVID really just said
good luck on
no
figuring out
because,
when you can.
because
get
it was such a scare.
It
was like, hey, because I legitimately remember.
I mean, I know how.
I didn't
I'm
have
just
my
saying
grandma for months.
the general public. The general
for
public.
6-8 months.
Yeah.
I couldn't go past the. I didn't
I'm
go
just being
past the driveway. Because, you know, she's been having some medical issues. And back at the time she was
I get
still
a lot of
having
questions of like, how can I get
it
Rashid's
was-
food? And I'm like,
so I
well,
was like,
holidays.
Can't risk it. Can't risk it. Got to stay away. You know, in the early stages, I think people forget that too, because you almost want to put it out of your mind. But don't forget, people. There was fights over toilet paper. People were buying vinegar like it had gold in it. Right? Couldn't find masks. You have nurses and doctors wearing the same mask for like 30 days, developing horrible skin rashes and diseases on top of it just for their safety, right? We were buffing down cardboard boxes and everything that shipped. So, yeah, it was a wild and crazy time. And you were just told to stay away, stay home. If you stay with the people that are in your bubble.
Your circle, yeah.
And if it wasn't for DJ D Nice, a lot of people wouldn't be here. Shout out to D Nice and
shout out.
Club COVID-19 coming through, spinning the ones and twos all hours of the night.
Yeah, I tuned in for a couple of those. But then I think when it's all over and you're free to go, wouldn't that just like, I would think people would be itching to communicate.
But you've been
with
so
others.
trained. You've been trained though.
Convenience that we got
Yeah.
Like, we are trying not to have human interaction, so like deliveries, like all grocery stores started delivering everything.
Yeah.
They weren't doing that before. You just had, it was so accessible to not have to interact with anyone.
Yeah, I guess it was easier to just isolate yourself and just be in your own bubble. And it was a scare. I remember being in the garage and wiping down my groceries being delivered, and I look back and I'm like, what were we doing? But we didn't know any better.
didn't know.
We just didn't know.
You didn't know how it was coming. You couldn't see it. Yeah. By the time you detected it, it was too late.
Right.
Hey, I'm putting this 2-foot-long Q-tip down your throat and up your
I
nose.
do think
You're
that's
like,
common now. Is lots of
yeah,
people
at
just
least
don't
take me out for dinner first.
interact
You know,
with
it was
people
just a
anymore.
horrible
like even just the
experience.
act of like saying
I know, right? Like,
Like-
I just forgot algebra.
yeah
Right.
I think we didn't really need it anyway.
Never use it.
AI's
today.
here. They'll take care of
Exactly. ChatGPT, put this in here.
Exactly.
But I think COVID was sort of like that's when it went how it is now.
it. Well, COVID, I don't know if it's over, but we are definitely past the point of a pandemic. So go out and get yourself some barbecue for
Yes.
Black History Month.
And say hello to somebody.
Yes,
Exactly.
and say hello. Talk to somebody. Just people are friendly.
Yes.
People want to share stories
moving that
and
way.
techniques, and
I'll challenge anyone listening. If you got a few extra bucks, because not everybody does, I understand. And you're at a barbecue spot in the line, you're either in front of somebody or behind. Look at the person behind you, like, hey, what are you getting? Hey, it's all me. Let's sit down and have a talk. And what do you like about this place? Is this your first time here? Just do that.
and if
do
the
that.
food is good, tip on the way out.
Boom. There you go. There you go. Shout out to Andrew and Michelle of Moose. Always a banger. That was that platter. One time for Adrian for the extra little snacky snacks. Much appreciated, my friend. Boy, hey, we had to eat. It was a long flight, man.
You always appreciate a snacky snack.
Always.
Snacky snack.
Let me see here. Ooh, yeah, we'll finish this little nugget of stuff here. A little bit of as far as thanks and giving.
Okay.
Thank a Hero barbecue cookout is happening in San Diego, April 26th this year from 12 to 3 at the San Diego Port. So make sure you guys, if you're in the area, go out, support. You're going to have like TFTI out there, Blazing Star Barbecue. I believe Crazy Gringo Barbecue is going to be out there. 406 Barbecue. There are a lot of guys in the smoke world coming together just to give thanks, say thank you. These firefighters and first responders have been.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like there was a lot of convenience
clock.
that we got
Hero.
from COVID,
So,
of the
Straight
like
hero.
This is
we
them putting
are trying
something
not to have
together.
human
We'll have more
interaction, so like
information as
deliveries,
it draws
like
near.
all
and just
grocery
make
stores
sure to
started
check out the
delivering
Disnipline
everything.
Barbecue
They
Instagram
weren't doing
page.
that before.
We've posted
Yeah,
them.
you
We'll
just
just
had
keep
it was
sharing
so
it
accessible
until the
to
event
not have
comes.
to
But
interact with
you know,
anyone.
it's a nice way to give back. We'll see if you're in the game, if you're thinking again the game and you're trying to practice. That's what I did, right? To fine tune everything. Firefighters will always eat.
Yes.
And there's always somebody at the fire station,
Absolutely.
24/7, because fires don't sleep. So if you're working on a butt, or you got access too much, bring some over, grab some buns. Like, hey guys, appreciate you. Drop it off.
Yeah.
They love it.
No waste, and you do a good deed.
You just
They
touched
love
my
it. I used to do
brain.
that all the time after every one of my events, or I've had some extras right to the firehouse. And I used to stop
Good
by
thing
the
we didn't
cop
really
shop
need
every
it
once in a
anyways.
while, but the firehouse was closer. Love those guys, man. Drop them a meal. They will definitely appreciate it.
I'm not saying it was me, but I might have heard of somebody getting out of a ticket because they had brought some barbecue.
Uh-oh.
So it does a lot.
Hey.
Because nobody wants to give a speeding ticket to the guy that's bringing barbecue.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
I wouldn't.
saying? So
I mean,
take
Say
with that
hello to
whatever you
somebody.
want.
community.
It's community. That's it.
Community.
It's not a bribe if you can eat it.
Wagyu feels like a brand.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's not a bribe if you can eat it. It's not a tender you can go spend some. It's like no one's gonna be like, no. So you just enjoy it.
Exactly. It
I'm
was a
just
gift.
saying. I cannot confirm nor deny anything. And there's some new wheels talking about going too fast. friend of the show, Karim, has a new set of wheels. Got himself a brand new spanking 1,000-gallon smoker from Mill Scale.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Holy crap.
that thing's got
Nice.
some back end on. She got a wide end. It's like woo.
Does work.
That's big back for real.
Oh yeah. Oh, she got it. She got it. They haven't named her yet, but he picked up those wheels, and that's what I miss. Like that's the issue. That's the issue. That's why you get smoker not built up, because you're like, I just want to break it in.
Want to stink up the neighborhood.
I know, right? Let me just break that in. Let me hold that for you. I'll take care of it for you. Let me season that down with some tallow. Get up in there, burn a nice little mark on there, light it up, find those hot spots for you. Nothing like working over a new smoker. Like
breaking it
I'm
in.
not going to the store for it. No, I want to something built where I don't know. Now let me discover this, see what the laps are, and touch this up. You got to do it to know what I'm talking about. Then you'd understand. It's like reseasoning cast iron. It's a thing. So shout out to Kareem and everything he's doing, man, on all of his endeavors.
Congrats.
Absolutely love it.
Congrats.
How are we on our Black History facts?
I think we're all, I mean, I don't want to overwhelm you too much. But,
we only got but 1 month. I don't think it's overwhelming. I don't think we're overwhelming.
You know, really, just to wrap up this segment, you know, it just isn't about meat. It's the story of survival, creativity, and culture, you know.
Right.
African Americans helped build a legacy from the ground up. So, again, I just invite everybody to celebrate. And, you know, perhaps not just in February, but really all year round, you know. Just go out, talk to people, stop in, say hello, eat good food. Find those small spots, the little mom and pops, and talk to them, because they love it. They're here for a reason. They've been in business for sometimes decades, where they just want to share their craft and be a part of the community. So let's help them out. Give them a shout.
No, I love it. I do. I think it's that's where it grows, right? There used to be a mom and pop barbecue spot on every corner, like there's Starbucks out here now, you know. And at some point, all of that shifted.
Yeah.
There's a obvious story to it, but that's less for a whole other podcast.
That's too deep for now.
I mean,
A
that's,
lot of people ain't
just
ready to have
community.
that conversation.
That's all it is, community.
Ooh, I still got bills to pay. So
Shout out to Bills.
I'll
I don't know,
have
Wagyu
that
feels like a
conversation when
bribe.
I'm on my land. I'm like, I wish you would. But it's you know, they were all over, and there's so many techniques and so many tricks. Like, I love cooking with Rodney. I hate cooking at Rodney. But I love cooking with Rodney, but I hate cooking with Rodney because he stayed pissing me off, man. Because I watch and I learn, like we all do, and I pick up tricks. We swap and trade, but he always got one in the chamber.
Yeah.
Just one that you's like, oh, really? You just gonna pull that out of nowhere, huh? Okay.
That's the ancestors talking to
I,
them.
I swear, I was like, which? I asked
work.
him, I was like, which great just whispered that in your
Right?
ear?
Exactly.
Because you pulled that out of nowhere. But that's just how it goes. So talk with those in the stores. Talk with the guys when you can. There's a conversation with DJ Jazzy Jeff, which I love, where he says he's trying to leave this world empty, where he wants to create everything he felt like he wanted to create, and he wants to teach all of what he knows and passes it on, because he doesn't want it to go with him. I want to leave this world empty. And a lot of these at all ages, but a lot of those who've been in the game, they just want to pass it along because they know what they know. If no one's asking, it stops with them, and it can be built upon. So go have a conversation. Get out of that bubble. Get out of that shy phase or whatever, and just go have a conversation with someone. You will not regret learning from someone who's been through and done it. I'm very fortunate that I've got a wild Rolodex of all-star mentors that I can lean on if I need to. Not everyone has that, but you got to go out and find them.
Yeah.
So
And if anything, you just go home with a full belly and a great story.
exactly.
Full belly and,
And a
great story.
recommendation.
Yeah.
And a recommendation. Make sure to tip. We got a few questions here.
Okay.
We'll do one or two. I like this one. This is from Kyle. Shout out to Kyle, man.
Hey, Kyle.
What's one common ingredient you don't like using or the taste of? For example, mine is pickles. First off, Kyle, we're going to talk about that later, but I'm going to shoot that to you, my man.
All right. So for me, for the longest time, it has been coconut. And not for any real reason, because I will drink coconut water.
Just got a thing against
But-
Jamaicans, huh?
Well, I guess we'll fight after this, but but coconut has always been something that I tend to shy away from. You know,
I feel you. That's supportive. For me, it's cranberry. No, not cranberry. Grapefruit.
that's number 2 on my list.
I don't like grapefruit.
No,
The only time I can ever get down with it, I think. So funny behind the scenes thing. Like when you do TV, a lot of it never makes there.
Okay.
Like there are challenges that never made there. Never good. But one of them that never made it was I made a grapefruit candy while I was on the air, and it actually turned out delicious. But
Really?
I don't think it ever made the air. that was like I had to. I think it was like the tart and bitter episode
Okay.
where I got the Rodikia and everything. I did a grapefruit candy, and I don't think that ever made it out. And Eduardo, you're an ass for making them play season 1 over and over at Leo's Corner while I was there. I know that was you. All right, I know that was you. That was unnecessary and uncalled for. All right?
you just made the list.
He did just make the list. So that's mine. And secondly, Santa Maria Grill. Is it worth, sorry, and this one's from Dave. Santa Maria Grill. Is it worth replacing my Weber kettle for one? Is there a big learning curve?
So he already has a Weber kettle and
Yeah.
wants to replace it with another Weber kettle.
He wants to replace it with a Santa Maria Grill.
Oh, a Santa Maria grill. I don't think I've ever used a Santa Maria grill.
I've used it, a lot of them.
You might have a few in the backyard.
Might. That's, again, this, I don't know who hurt you this week, Lee. I don't know. What did I do to... Have you been talking to Corey?
hasn't been around.
Gosh, you've been taking... This is so unnecessary. Samurai. It's 2 different types of cooking, really. Santa Maria, you can set it up for, sort of low and slowish, but also the issue there's a lot of your heat is escaping. It's not necessarily designed for long cooks. Now, when we're showcasing cooking is drastically different than actual cooking. You're hanging all the meats over, you're letting it, you don't care about the heat dissipating, all of that. It's just flary. It's numbers,
It's
it's
not an efficient way to cook for like a fuel.
yeah, not at all, right? Showcase cooking on a Santa Maria, no. But if you're at home, your Santa Maria is just hot and fast. You're blazing through that. You could set up different sides of it if you've got an attachment for an asado cross or stuff like that. But the average person never really gonna go into it like they need to. Versus your Weber, it's more versatile. You can set up 2-zone, 3-zone, 1-zone cooking, snake method. So cabins, you can set up as a smoker, do ring and snake method with a water pan in the center to smoke. Like there's a lot to do on that kettle that's very, very versatile. I would say if you've got a niche, maybe scale up from that 22, and I think they've got the Weber Mountain where it's like the
Big Daddy.
That one you gotta shift your weight to walk around it type of thing. If that's what the itch is, or go get a stick burner.
Yeah.
That's what I would recommend. But swapping out a kettle for a Santa Maria, the Santa Maria is a much heftier purchase than what a kettle is going to run you, and your kettle is versatile, but that Santa Maria isn't going to do anything your Weber can't do already. You just have to grill hot and fast and watch it.
Yeah.
and be mindful of it. And I always recommend, because this guy, his name is Tom. He was making these amazing cookie cakes for their opening, and he asked about the El Rey that M&M Barbecue makes, because I didn't realize, like, apparently we're one of the few people who have a lot of footage of it being used. Like, there's not a lot of footage of it out there. And he's like, what is it like? And I said, it's, the M&M El Rey and El Nino are some of the most superior built Santa Marias I've experienced, because they're so well insulated that majority of the people are going to burn themselves because they don't expect it to hold heat that well. You don't need nearly as much as you think. And I always, like, even when I use it in the setup,
Corey hasn't been
set
around.
up for 2-zone. One side first, and I slide my coals over as needed and work it back and forth. But that thing is hot. I used to be light-skinned before I started cooking on it.
I remember those pictures.
I know, right? It's gone now.
So you had good credit?
Good credit, shorter hair. But now after cooking on the El Nino, I got my Wesley Snipes going. So you've been warned.
Yep.
You've been warned. I think that's the pod.
I was going to say, I always wanted to try to do wings on a Santa Maria.
Ooh.
Just to,
What kind of wings?
just I don't know.
It's also not an efficient way to cook for like a fuel
Habanero
standpoint.
cherry, something that's just kind of
Okay.
rubbed in. I was just thinking, lowering it down, firing it up, letting it crisp up the skin a little bit.
Yeah,
Bring it back up,
that.
roast them, get the inside done. I don't know.
And
I just never done it.
Mac.
I'm too poor to have one.
A good Santa Maria is you can do those things, but it's just not too great of a difference, because
Yeah.
someone's out there's gonna be like, well, what if you want to really get it by the fire? Do you know that rack in your kettle, it spins? You can just spin it from one side where the fire is and spin it back off. Like it, you just swing that bad boy around.
It's just simple things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're just looking to scratch an itch in a new toy, okay, I get it. But if you really want to level it up, go and grab your stick burner. Workhorse, another big news. M&M, they are going to be reopening pre-orders for their King backyard unit, which filled so quickly. I think it's been months and months and months since they've even been able to take any orders. So
Wow.
if you're looking for an itch, get something like that.
Get
You
it while
can
it's
really
hot.
have some fun. Really have some fun with it. I enjoy it. Now I think that was a pod. I prematurely closed.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
Everyone hates a early closer. Don't close now. No, but guys, we appreciate you. We love the questions. We love that you enjoyed and find it helpful. Leave us a review. That would help a lot. If it's not something that you want us to talk about, submit it. Email us at thisweekinbarbecue@gmail.com.
Let us know.
We'll get to it. We do our best. We're trying to get a little better.
We have plenty.
Good help is hard to find
It's
these days.
especially less salty help and throwing shade help this week. I don't know. I thought I was picking right. I picked wrong. It's just everybody's turning me now.
Get rid of whoever that is.
Yeah. We
Woke up and chose violence.
Basically, I'm look out for a LinkedIn post. No, guys, but it's been an absolute amazing, great time. You've been listening to This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue-focused podcast that's got hot takes and hot recipes. I'm your host, Rashid Phillips, and with a smooth face, Mr.
James Babyface Welch.
And throwing shade like it's his main job, Mr.
Lee Garmin.
Appreciate you guys. Take care. We get to one another.
So you had good credit?
But now after cooking on the El Nino, I got my Wesley Snipes going. So you've been warned. Yep, you've been warned. I think that's the problem.
I was going to say, I always wanted to try to do wings on a Santa Maria. Just I don't know, maybe some habanero cherry, something that's just kind of rubbed in, I was just thinking, lowering it down, firing it up, letting it crisp up the skin a little bit, bring it back up, roast them, get the inside done. I don't know. I just never done it. I'm too poor
not too great of a difference. Because someone's out there's gonna be like, well, what if you want to really get it by the fire? Do you know that rack in your kettle it spins? You can just spin it from one side where the fire is and spin it back off. Like you just swing that bad boy around.
It's just simple things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're just looking to scratch an itch in a new toy, okay, I get it. But if you really want to level it up, go and grab your stick burner, workhorse. Another big news. M&M, they are going to be reopening pre-orders for their King backyard unit, which filled so quickly. I think it's been months and months and months since they've even been able to take any orders. So
wow.
Like if you're looking for an itch, get something like that.
Get it while it's
have
hot.
some fun. Really have some fun with it. Enjoy it. No, I think that was a problem. I prematurely closed.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
Everyone hates a early closer. Don't close now. No, but guys, we appreciate you. We love the questions. We love that you enjoyed and find it helpful. Leave us a review. That would help a lot. If it's not something that you want us to talk about, submit it. Email us at thisweekinbarbecue@gmail. And we'll get to it. We do our best. We're trying to get a little better.
Good help is hard to find these days.
Especially less salty help and throwing shade out this week. I don't know. I was picking right. That's wrong.
Yeah, we'll get rid of whoever that is. Yeah.
Woke up and chose violence.
Look out for a LinkedIn post. No, guys, but it's been an absolute amazing, great time. You've been listening to This Week in Barbecue, the Barbecue Focus podcast. It's got hot takes and hot recipes. I'm your host, Rashid Phillips, and with a smooth face, Mr.
James Babyface Welch.
And throwing shade like it's his main job, Mr.
Lee Garman.